Hello and welcome back to the bridge with me, Admiral. We've named the ship the USS as always, so welcome on the bridge of the USS as always. We just finished the stream and we're going to be going into the Treasury building, which was what we discussed on the stream, and basically looking at the lockbox content. As we've discovered, the lockbox content is a completely silly system, in my opinion. And does need addressing. Please let me know your thoughts on everything to do with the lockbox and the Treasury building during this obviously video, and please let me know your thoughts on what my sort of way around it would be for free-to-play players. As we've discussed on the stream, this is completely pay-to-play element of the game, and the way that they have gone around it is kind of bizarre. So they've got this little thing at the bottom, which is the point system. You got to do the point system to get to 700 points, at which point you then get a sale come up in your sales, I guess. That's the only way to sort of describe it. You get in your sales, you then get a pack in here. You then buy the key. I believe it's for about €100 or $110 or £90. Depending on obviously where you are in the world, and then you get this key here and you unlock these resources in this box. This is incredibly useful in terms of the resources in the box. The resources in the box are actually quite nice compared to the other upgrade pack that I will discuss in this video as well. So you get 1400 diode, which is very good. 11k ultra recruit, 66k platinum. You get a pitiful amount of power steel, a pitiful amount of trait. You get quite a hefty amount of dilithium, which is really good to be fair, and you get a decent amount of ore and uncommons as well. Rares, sorry, not ore in particular. Rares and uncommons, you get a decent amount, and then you get a few speed ups and this, that, and the other. When you compare this to the Treasury upgrade pack, which is in the store, this is a hell of a better deal than this Treasury upgrade pack, as this is pretty much diabolical and half of the resources in some cases. It is just awful. I mean, look at the deal there. You're getting 49 million on the other one, and you're only getting 350k on this one. So I mean, just put that into perspective. The only difference is you've got to work for this before you then pay for it, which for me makes no sense. If you're going to pay for it, you may as well just be able to pay for it. And I don't see why they put this behind a effort war, so to say. As you can see, I've got 162. That's just off doing dailies, to be honest. Haven't really done much else. That's just dailies from today, and I've got 162. So I would definitely get the 700 points required, certainly in the 7-day span that they've done this for. The only problem that I have with this is the fact that there's no free-to-play element to this. And I have come up with a solution whilst talking to everyone on the stream and on Discord and stuff. There is a solution behind this that could be beneficial for Scopely to adopt in the future, as having a sole pay-to-play wall thing, in my opinion, is completely wrong, as you always should have a free-to-play element to everything in the game. The only difference is it should take a hell of a lot longer to get, should take more effort, and it should take obviously more dedication within the game to be able to unlock it as a free-to-play player compared to paying players. Whew, they are a lot of peas. So yeah, the way I've come across, or the thing that I would get around this, if you are a free or a paying player, fine, leave this at 700 points. Over 7 days, which obviously accumulates to 100 points a day you need to get to be able to then buy the token or buy the key to then unlock what's in this content store. The way to get around this is, and this one would be down to obviously Scopely to decide, but the way I would do it is, instead of 700 points for a free player, they would have to get, say, 4 times the amount of this, which would be 2,800 points, and they have to do it in the same length of time as everyone else gets, which is the 7 days, which obviously adds up to 400 points per day. Therefore, that player for free to play to get the same stuff in here as a paying player, they would have to spend, in theory, 4 times as long on the game to get the same amount of points. I know it doesn't quite equate to that, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. They have to spend longer in the game. They have to work harder in the game. They have to dedicate themselves in the game longer to be able to unlock the same resources. And I think that's how every sort of element of this game should work. There should be a paying aspect which allows you to relieve time, effort, freedom to be able to just get whatever you want to get because you've earned that by paying for it. And then alternatively, you should have the free-to-play element, which involves the time, the effort, the dedication, the longevity of that, whatever that may be. And that's how I believe that this should be. Please let me know your thoughts on that idea down below. I'm not going to say it should be 4 times or 5 or 6 times. That was just a rough, obviously, example. Obviously, the final thing would be down to Scopely and what they would deem a necessary evil, so to say, for free-to-play players. But there should always definitely be a free aspect of this, because at the moment, the only free aspect of the Treasury building is these levels on the outside, which granted are really good. Now that they've scaled back on a few things, these are really, really good, to be honest, and I do quite like these. The only downside is obviously you've got to wait a long period of time to be able to get the diodes eventually, which obviously you only get 10 per day from, or 10 every 22 hours from the chests available to you. So it does take a while to be able to collect these up, unless you do obviously daily events in the actual event store to be able to get them, such as we haven't got one available today. Okay, never mind. But you can do some in the event store. So yeah, overall, please let me know what you think down below. Whether you think my idea is a reasonable and sort of understandable idea, or whether it's completely outlandish and it should be completely locked to only paying players should be able to access this, and paying players should be the only ones that should be allowed to get these resources. And free-to-players can basically go sling their hook, and people like me can go sling their hook and say, no, you don't get access to this whatsoever, because that's just for paying players. I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are as the wider community. Like I say, I've spoke to people on my stream today, and most people seem to agree with me, but then that's because they're my supporters and fans. So I would like to see what the wider community would obviously consider to this suggestion overall. And other than that, as always, USS as always, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.